The first segment of the Hot 7 Nightly News is brought to you by Flow.
Tonight, police need your help to capture a wanted fugitive. A vehicular accident on Miku Street in Castries results in one fatality. And the opposition and government lock horns on identifying the best crime-fighting strategies.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Daniela Edwin.
Good evening. It is Wednesday, November 30th, 2022. I am Daniela Edwin. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. We are on Flow Channel 117, Kiss FM, the Caribbean Hot FM mobile app, and the Caribbean Hot 7 TV Facebook page. Not forgetting, those of you using the Hot 7 plug and play antenna, thank you for joining us. We begin tonight's broadcast with news that a police manhunt is on for a man in his mid-20s who escaped police custody while receiving medical treatment. An appeal has been issued for any assistance from the public that can lead to his recapture. At the same time, police have issued a strong warning against attempts to harbor or provide assistance to the fugitive. Karim Nelson gives the details.
The Royal St. Lucia Police Force is seeking the assistance of the general public in locating Preston Marsley, a 26-year-old resident of Cedars Castries. Marsley, who was charged for attempted kidnapping, harm, assault, and damage to property on Wednesday, November 23, 2022, was remanded in custody. While in custody, he attempted to commit suicide and was escorted to the OKAU hospital for care. Whilst admitted, Marsley escaped from the facility. Anyone with information regarding his whereabouts is asked to contact the nearest police station, the Criminal Investigations Department at 456-3770, or the crime hotline at 555 for anonymous reporting. Meanwhile, individuals who are minded to assist Marsley are reminded of Section 402A of the Criminal Code of the Revised Laws of St. Lucia. According to 402, a person who, knowing or having reason to believe that another person has committed or has been convicted of any crime, aids, conceals, or harbors that person with the intention of enabling him or her to avoid lawful arrest or the execution of his or her sentence or to escape punishment is liable for A, if the crime is punishable with death or with imprisonment for 14 years or more, to imprisonment for 7 years, on conviction on indictment, B, if the crime is an indictable offense other than that referred to in paragraph A, to imprisonment for 5 years on conviction on indictment. Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Karim Nelson.
Emergency officials and police have confirmed the death of one pedestrian following a vehicular accident in Castries this week. We get the details from Eldris Charles.
Police are reporting that about 12:30 p.m. on Tuesday, November 29th, 2022, officers attached to the traffic unit in Castries received a report of a collision at the intersection of Labrie and Miku Street. On arrival, officers observed a female pedestrian being attended to by emergency personnel. The incident involved a trailer truck and the pedestrian, who succumbed at the OKAU hospital. Public Relations Officer at the St. Lucia Fire Service, Stacey Joseph, tells us more.
A response was made from the Fire Service headquarters to Miku Street in Castries for an individual who got struck by a vehicle on Tuesday, November 29th. The responding crew found a female individual who appeared to be in her mid-30s lying on the ground complaining of body pain. The individual who was allegedly struck by a vehicle was fully immobilized on a backboard and transferred to the awaiting ambulance. Thereafter, she was provided rapid emergency transportation to the OKAU hospital for further care.
The deceased has been identified as Chantal Conibut, a 33-year-old resident of Cicero Castries. Investigations into the circumstances surrounding the incident are ongoing. Updates will be provided in due course. Meanwhile, on Sunday, November 27, 2022, a joint police operation was conducted along the Grant Anse Beach, which resulted in the recovery of a quantity of controlled drugs. Officers were alerted to suspicious activity during the conduct of patrols, and an investigation was launched. This resulted in the recovery of several bricks of suspected hashish. One male was taken into custody in relation to the investigation. Investigations into this matter are also ongoing. The Royal St. Lucia Police Force continues to dissuade persons from participating in the illicit trade of drugs. Anyone with information regarding such transactions is asked to call the nearest police station or the crime hotline at 555 for anonymous reporting. Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Eldris Chad.
Opposition leader Alan Chastanet has taken umbrage with the government's response to tackle the surging crime situation on island. The leader affirms that the state's policies on crime are simply inadequate. Chastanet says that as National Security Minister, Prime Minister Pierre should desist from playing the blame game and conceptualize a comprehensive plan to arrest crime, particularly gun violence.
The opposition United Workers' Party continues to be vocal about the upsurge in criminal activity the island is currently experiencing. Opposition leader Alan Chastanet is especially concerned over the proliferation of illegal guns circulating in country, the most popular weapon of choice used to end life. Recently, Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Ernest Hilaire asserted that more pressure needs to be applied on the international and regional entities importing guns to the country, as St. Lucia is not a manufacturer of firearms. Chastanet argues that this is yet another tactic being employed by the SLP administration to elude responsibility. The former Prime Minister states that improvements must be made to the island's border control measures to prevent guns from entering the country.
The first thing is you have to control your borders. The Martinicans, RSS, Impacts all have a shared responsibility on this. I did not hear one statement from the Prime Minister that we were moving with any kind of expediency to shut down the borders, that there was going to be more patrols. These are the things that we speak of that take immediate effect. And Mr. Fady is 100% correct. There was nothing in the statement. This was a hurried statement, almost like he was pressured into having it, and he felt, okay, let me just check the box before I go off to Taiwan to say I've had a speech.
The lay law imposed by the United States following the notorious Operation Restore Confidence prohibited St. Lucia from receiving U.S.-sponsored assistance. Chastanet articulates that the Royal St. Lucia Police Force requires the help it can attain to contain crime to a minimal. It is to this end the former Prime Minister is inquiring about the current status of the infamous Impacts report. He says assistance from the United States can be critical to arresting crime locally.
What is the state of Impacts? Just before the elections, the DPP said that he was on the verge of laying charges and prosecuting cases involved in Impacts. Why do I bring that up? Because we're going to need the help of the U.S. And if the government did not understand before, let me remind them now that the U.S.'s government's willingness to allow the police force to obtain training that they had been denied was temporary on the basis that we were proceeding with those prosecutions. Not a word. Nobody's heard anything as to what the status of the Impacts report are. And I'm going to say to you that I think the time is going by fast, and I would not be surprised if countries start putting more pressure on the government of St. Lucia, particularly given their history. And our police force need more support than ever before.
Chastanet says that the SLP administration needs to be more firm on crime and refrain from diverting blame to other entities in society. Reporting for the Hot 7 TV News, I am Kareem Nelson.
Still in the first segment of the news, the POV. The POV provides you, our valued viewers and listeners, an opportunity to sound off on trending issues in the news only from your point of view. Are you feeling the Christmas spirit?
No, because of the finances, and it is really bad this year.
I think yes. I think this year we're going to have a great Christmas. After we didn't have Christmas for like 2 years, I think this year we'll come in with a bang.
Things not the way it used to be. So I'm just going one day at a time. Whatever comes, comes.
I am not But to be honest, I'm trying to, because in this life and time, we just have to make the best of it. As you could see, I'm enjoying my ice cream right now, and I'm having a blessed day. So yeah.
Don't feel any Christmas spirit for now, honestly speaking. I know for later, but for now, no.
No, I'm not feeling it. So we need more money in our pockets. Can the Prime Minister give us a little incentive? That would be nice for all of us.
It's really hard on us, yeah, especially when bus driver. Yeah, it's very, 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 very hard on us.
You're watching the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Still to come, the observance of 16 days of activism brings into focus the challenges that hinder advancement of gender-based issues, and local police are seeking to strengthen their relationship with the public in an effort to foster a joint approach to crime fighting. Stay with us. We have the details of these and other stories right after the break.
The first segment of the Hot 7 Nightly News was brought to you by Flow.